It's working, right? CPI coming in way better than expected, Bitcoin on the move, and the stock market having a good day as well. Is Trump's plan all coming to fruition? Are the Fed about to cut rates, and is Bitcoin heading back above $100,000? We're going to break all of it down in this video so that you are up to date with everything going on in crypto, what's going to happen next, and more importantly, the big question everyone's asking, is the bull run still on? Well, let's answer it in this video. But first, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for all your daily cryptocurrency content, whether that's meme coins, altcoins, technical analysis, and all the latest in DeFi. We got it right here on the 2Bit Crypto channel. So with that being said, smash that like, let's get into it. So for many of you that were in my live stream yesterday, we were talking about CPI, what was the expectations, where was it going to put us, and more importantly, what was this going to do for the market? We had a pretty aggressive sell-off. Everybody was calling the end of the bull market, and CPI, well, it's come in better than expected. 2.8% on its way down to that 2% for the Federal Reserve's target. We do, however, have another big moment coming later on today that we need to talk about, but soft CPI reports suggest the bottom is near. Is this the moment we should be buying the dip? Well, it's always better to buy on a big fat red candle as opposed to a green candle, but there are some key things to think about. So CPI came in very much on 2.8, which is a definite better step in the right direction. Now, don't get too excited. The Fed aren't going to be cutting just yet, but it is moving the dial a little bit more in our favor. Expectations is that we could see multiple Fed rate cuts this year, but if you remember back of last year, 2024, the Fed weren't going to cut at all. So that is a sharp change. Expectations could be somewhere around July, where we see our first rate cut, with our second rate cut coming in somewhere around August, potentially even September. So these are key things to think about. But the US equities saw an immediate bounce on the soft inflation data, as did Bitcoin, which rallied to 84,000 before a sell-off. And we're going to see that. The reality is people are still spooked in the market. People are definitely still unsure. Fear and greed index showing around 17. Sentiment is down. But the White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett recently suggested significant clarity on Trump's trade policy by April, which aligns with a bullish Q2 thesis. And I've been talking about the fact that I think the best of the markets to come mid-August for the top, October for the end of the bull run. That's kind of where I sit right now. But this obviously is bullish. Now, there are some key things to think about, like we said, and there's some other things that are going on. The PPI reports, the cost of producing those goods, is expected tomorrow with the same level of decline. 3.3 is the expectation versus previous at 3.5. This would cement another good move towards that 2% inflation target and definitely would rally markets. Not quite as much as CPI data, but certainly we will definitely see that. And what we can see here from inflation since 2010 is that when we have lower inflation, we generally see better economic climates for risk assets. And what we can determine right now is we are on our way down. Inflation peak obviously back in 2022, coming out of that bear market, and we've been on a downtrend since then, some more aggressively than others. But once again, you see the pickup of this decline. So this is bullish news. You also take a look at some of the key factors on the charts, the moving average in particular, and we talk about this on my live stream. Some key numbers to think about. 86,000 hold and close is a number we're looking for to suggest renewed buying interest and a solid and strong uptrend, potentially then heading towards that 88 to 90,000 price range, which will be a key thing. Holding 80,000 to the downside is also critical as well. But I think with a positive PPI report, we could actually be retesting 85,000 very, very soon. You then double down on Donald Trump, and a lot of people don't talk about this stuff, but it's so important to think about the macro, and that's going to support you in your decision making when it comes to cryptocurrency and, more importantly, your portfolio. But Donald Trump taps Michelle Bowman as a potential Fed vice chair for supervision. Now, what is Michelle Bowman famous for? Well, she is a champion of light regulation, and more importantly, is specifically about light touching and banking regulations. This could open the door to custody of crypto. Now we have that regulatory change, could be very bullish indeed. And actually looking to put her as the vice chair for supervision at the US Central Bank. So a lot of things are aligning right now, as well as the overall cryptocurrency chart. We just flicked into a new day here in the UK at the time of recording this video. 2 very good days though in the market, a continuation to that 85 that we talked about, retesting the higher ranges. This 90,000 is going to be in and around this 100-day exponential moving average. We want to see that push to the upside, renewed market sentiment, optimism in the market, pro announcements from Donald Trump, and inflation data that is suggesting that it is on the way down, and the Fed will have to pivot. Therefore, you could get into a place and say, well, Trump's plan simply is working, and the reality here is that risk on assets, well, have probably got their best yet to come. We're still not out of the water just yet. There's a little bit to come, but early indications certainly are, with this renewed interest on CPI and that PPI report coming out, that we're very bullish on what the market is doing. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. As always, we try and bring you the latest and greatest to make sure your portfolio is making a move like the rest of it. But keep your eyes peeled. 85, 88,000, maybe retest 90,000 by the end of the weekend could be on the cards, as long as no one decides to dump the market. As ever, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.